I got a simple question for America. It seems like there's a bit of a double standard in America lately. You have people like Spike Lee, who says he won't take an interview from anyone unless they're African American. You have a gentleman like Cliven Bundy, who may not be the best orator on the planet. In fact, it's obvious he's not. But he says something that comes straight from the heart, and everybody accuses him of being racist. Well, on top of that, you've got this guy with the LA Clippers. Everybody wants to say the guy's racist, but is he really? I mean, obviously his wife isn't white, but does that really matter? What matters is that in the last 6 years, it seems that racism has taken a whole new place in American media. Doesn't matter what is said or the reason behind what is said. It's, if a white person says it, oh, it's got to be racist. I don't know where the hell they get that information. But the fact is that the media is the problem. If it weren't for the media sensationalizing bullshit comments that don't mean a damn thing to anyone, we wouldn't have this problem. I mean, the biggest divisive reason for as much racism as we have in this country has a lot to do with who's at the top. He may say that he is for everyone, but he's not. Let me tell you, I'm 37 years old. I had really good insurance. I was very happy with my insurance. It didn't cost me an arm and a leg. But all of a sudden, he and his cronies decide to have a new law. It's called Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act. It might have been a good idea if it wasn't such a socialist idea. There's a way to make insurance much more affordable. But are they willing to do what's necessary? Obviously not. They just made billions for the insurance industry by simply mandating that everybody in America carry it. Okay. Not something we can fix today. Hopefully something we can get fixed soon. But it's one of those things where it was someone who felt that there was something needed in this country, who comes from a background where he was raised, brainwashed, programmed, whatever you want to call it, to believe that no matter what you do for your living, if you are a minority, you need to be taken care of, and it's everyone else that needs to take care of you. And that's not a racist comment. That's a statement about the social issues in this country. There is such a thing as social inequality. And I agree with it, that there is something called social inequality. It's very simple. It's some people treating others badly because of their skin color, religion, choice of mate, or whatever it may be. And that is social inequality. What is not social inequality is that you have in this country millions of people who refuse to work because the government's giving them a paycheck. And it doesn't matter if they're white, black, purple, or what. The fact of the matter is if they would actually work, they'd be a lot happier, a lot better off, and this country would get better. But, what am I? I'm just some white guy from Colorado who's got an education and who grew up around minorities my whole life. My whole life. And a lot of my friends are minorities. And they'll tell you, there ain't a racist bone in my body, but they have heard people call me a racist. They have heard people refer to me as a racist. And they have seen people take what I say as extremely racist. I don't care. I know in my heart I'm not a racist. They know, by knowing me, that I'm not a racist. But if what I say to you today sounds like it might be racist, why don't we have an open and proper conversation about what racism really is? Because racism does exist. And it seems to me like there's a lot of it coming our way. And that's fine. You want to be that way? That's on you, bud. But the fact of the matter is if we'd all just work together and follow the Constitution, we'd be a hell of a lot better off as a country. We'd be a lot better off as a society. And on top of that, we'd all be family again, because there was a time in this country when everyone was family. And the last time we saw it was September 11th, because this entire country came together as a family. Now, people here in Colorado have had instances where it has forced us to come together as a family. The last 2 summers, you've had the Waldo Canyon fire and you've had the Black Forest fire. That forced our community to come together as a family. Not too long ago, my hometown, where I come from, lost 19 brave men in a fire. Those 19 brave men, I watched some of them grow up. They were some of the bravest, most courageous men I'd ever met. They did something that I don't have the guts to do, which is go stand in a burning forest and try and stop the fire. That forced them to come together as a family. But we've also had incidents in this country that a certain group has decided we should come together over as a family. Didn't work, because a family doesn't use divisive lies to get their agenda across. Bloomberg, you're an idiot. Plain and simple, man. Read a book sometime. It's not the law-abiding gun owners that are the problem. It's the guys that are breaking the law down the street that don't have the right to own that gun, didn't buy that gun legally, they didn't buy it at a gun show, they didn't buy it at a gun store, they bought it from a gun black market. And there is one. Drive around any town in this country, you'll find it. It doesn't take long. I can tell you right where it's at here in my hometown. You know, America has problems, but we are a land of exceptionalism, and we always have been. No matter what Barry Soweto, Barack Hussein Obama, whatever the hell his name is, wants to say, because he's full of it. The guy needs to get his head out of his ass and realize that what he wants to do to this country, 90% of Americans don't want to see happen to us. This country was a great and exceptional country. But your foreign policy? Do you really think your foreign policy is working when you've got guys like Vladimir Putin who openly laugh at you when you open your mouth, and you send guys like Biden and Kerry out to talk to our allies, and all they do is open their mouths and insert their foot all the way up to their hip? I mean, really, bud, you got to get smarter people to do your work. And you've got that idiot that you had in your cabinet for a long time who, Benghazi, do I need to say more? On top of that, you have Eric Holder. What were you thinking? I mean, seriously, what were you thinking putting somebody like Eric Holder in charge of the Justice Department? The guy doesn't believe in this country. He doesn't believe in the Constitution. All he believes in is gaining more power for himself. Kind of like you. But that's another story. Oh, wait. That makes me a racist because I don't like you for your policies, or Eric Holder for his policies. I forgot. According to the press, that makes me a racist. But that's basically just a snippet of what I want to say as a person. And yeah, you may look at me and think, oh, he's just some redneck American. Well, number one, I'm not redneck. Number two, this is because I'm going bald anyway. You want to laugh at that? Fine. You want to call me a skinhead? Go to hell. Because I am not a skinhead. I am a red-blooded American who cares about my country. What we need to do, people, is wake up. Get people in office that truly believe in this country. Because Reid, Pelosi, Feinstein, and half a dozen others, they don't believe in this country. All they care about is lining their pockets with money. And yeah, my own party has that same issue with some of its people. We also have people that ain't got a brain one in their head. But we'll deal with them in our own way. You guys fix your end. We'll fix ours. Fact of the matter is it's coming. It's going to change. We're going to vote with our wallets. We're going to vote in the polling booths. And guess what? We're going to get some people in there that actually believe in this country, and we're going to fix this stuff, and we're going to fix it soon. We're going to fix it fast. And if we don't fix it the right way, it'll get fixed one way or the other. Y'all want to keep passing these stupid laws and executive orders saying that you have to have insurance or this or that. You know what? The only law that we need to follow is the one in the Constitution. You tax the hell out of us. Did we get proper representation on that? No. You tell us how we can live our lives in our own bedroom? What the hell does that matter? Yeah, I'm a Christian. But you know what? What happens in someone else's bedroom ain't none of my business. I have 2 little kids. And you know what? I have no problem having them around lesbians, gays, whatever. I don't have a problem with them being around blacks, Hispanics. I don't have a care in the world about who I have them around. As long as that person isn't trying to tell them that their daddy or their mommy is wrong in the way that they're living their lives. I was raised. I wasn't just thrown out there, but I was raised in a good community by good people who taught me proper ways of dealing with people. And that is something that a lot of American people in generations after mine don't have, didn't get, won't get, don't get, I don't know. But they obviously weren't raised. When I was a kid, you screwed up, you got your backside paddled. You know what? I screwed up a lot. There were many a times where I was left where I couldn't sit down. But you know what? I'm okay with that because that made me the person I am today. Can you say the same? Because a lot of these situations we're seeing out there with the school shootings or whatever it may be, stabbings, assaults, those kids wouldn't pull that stuff if they'd have had proper discipline and raising. Because I grew up around firearms. I was bullied in school, but I never took a gun to school to deal with a bully. I dealt with the bully the way that he understood. And you know what? I didn't always win those fights. But I didn't care. It was me standing up for what was right, whether it was in my own defense or someone else's. When I was a kid in high school, had somebody tried to pull a high school shooting like Dylan Klebold and that other idiot in Connecticut, it wouldn't have gotten very far because the town I grew up in, 90% of us were cowboys. 90% of us had guns in our trucks. Somebody tries to pull something stupid like that, they're going to be dead before the cops get there. It's that simple. What happened to the America we had? Because the America we have now is not a land of good people, at least as far as the press is concerned. I think we're still a land full of good people, but they're good people who are afraid to speak their mind because of what it would be construed as. This is my first video I'm going to put on YouTube. If you want to leave comments, you go right on ahead. I won't get offended by your comments. Heck, I might even respond to you with an intelligent argument as to why your comment either is or is not correct. But let's get the discussion on the table, people. Let's stop throwing names around. Let's stop being hateful with our comments. Let's actually sit down and have a very frank discussion about what needs to happen in this country. And let's see where that takes us as a people. Because I think you'd be surprised. But that's it for now. If you guys like my video, hit the like button. If you have a comment, leave the comment. I know I was kind of rambling, but like I said, it's my first video. We'll see where it goes from there.